Hi, welcome to the other side of the coin, and today we have with us Pam Polejewski, Debbie Fears, and Barb LaBelle. Pam had spent some of her life savings on a no-kill refuge where people could bring their animals, a lot of unwanted animals, and she feels and probably has been misrepresented in a lot of ways, and so she really had a concern for animals and to take them in and to help just different animals that people didn't want to take care of. And so she started this no-kill refuge. And she had put probably almost like her whole life savings into this to get it started. And just kind of tell us what happened, Pam. Tell us how you led into starting this no-kill refuge.
Well, let's see. It was started in 1998, and that is true. I took out my life savings, and I think about $30,000 went into down payment on 10 acres of property. And I brought pictures of the property. I chose a rural area outside of Great Falls, Montana to do this because it actually had been a lifelong dream to kind of think outside the box, do something different for animals. And so I wanted a rural setting for animals where horses in their retirement years, blind horses, they could even be lame horses, older horses, basically any animal that wasn't wanted or just needed to live out its life in a rural setting. So I had this idea, and it just, I think, impressed on me more and more to try something like this.
So you got started, and people were actually bringing their animals to you, right?
Yeah, I think I was kind of known as a person who, I had helped a lot of people all along. I mean, I've been doing this for if not lifelong, many years, adopting animals out, helping people to find animals. I even volunteered for the Inhumane Society at one point in my life. And so I've been helping all along. I helped one lady watch over her diabetic dog and helped her with giving the dog insulin shots. And so I kind of was always known to want to give a lending hand to.
Yeah. Personally, I could never do anything like that because unfortunately, I'm not that, just don't have concern for animals like that. But it's nice that there are people that are here, on Earth that do have a concern for animals like yourself, everybody. I feel personally that different people have different gifts that they can contribute, during their life. And, obviously you've had a gift to be able to help animals. And
well, I am a nurse by profession, and I think that same passion I have for wanting to help people carries over into also wanting to help take care of animals.
So you had started this refuge up and were helping animals out and everything, and all of a sudden just kind of a monkey wrench got thrown in. What exactly happened?
Well, all along I was kind of hearing from other community members that other organizations, other animal activists, other animal groups felt that I kind of walked to the tune of a different drummer, and they were putting their own interpretations on who and what I was. And in talking to various attorneys, they felt that just by who and what I was, that I was possibly stepping on people's toes. And I'm talking about having different governing principles. I don't believe in euthanizing animals unless it's just been absolutely deemed the last thing you can do. So I just had different governing principles, and I wanted to do a no-kill refuge. I wanted it to be like a farm setting for animals. And so I think with those things in mind, it wasn't really money motivated.
Right.
So it wasn't fancy. And I think those things made people kind of leery of what I was really doing.
We need to back up here just a minute. And people started, somebody or a few people or something started complaining about your animals, but you lived out quite far out in the country, didn't you?
Right. an undercurrent started, and I would get a wind of it. People would call me up very concerned for me, saying, I took one of the dogs I got from you into the vet, and they weren't interested in the dog. They were interested in asking questions about you. And then I would have to say, it's okay. The dog checked out. It's healthy, right? They had no qualms about the dog. No, it's not the dog that they're interested in. It's you, Pam. And so that made people concerned for me, and then they would try to forewarn me, and I said, look, I'm not doing anything wrong. You don't have to be concerned. It's okay. Well, this undercurrent just built and built, and I think the stories and the allegations got wilder and crazier, and then it just got to the point where nothing I said or did had credibility.
So it even got to the point where there were rumors going around that you were walking through knee deep through dog feces
that I
in
lived
your
like
house.
that. Yeah, that I was
swimming in
crazy.
it.
And that I'm collecting all these animals, and it's a non-stop compulsion. And I wasn't out actively collecting any animals. I mean, the animals were, I would get calls, hey, there's a horse living in my a horse, but there's a dog living out in my horse pasture. It's been out there 2 weeks. I don't want the dog. Do you want to come get? I mean, there's definitely a need out there for people to oversee animals. And it doesn't have to be the black and white structure of a truck driving around looking for these animals. I think actually community-based community members can welcome these dogs into their home, and that's what I was trying to do.
Right. So now, real quick, I want to ask. We have Deb and Barb with us here, and they've you actually have had to move your project up here near.
Actually,
near
I had
Libby.
to flee with the shirt on my back, because I was constantly under the threat of, you either take back your appeals, because I even tried to fight this through the due process of law, and that has been an absolute...
Okay, and you guys are basically you're definitely her neighbor across the street,
Yes.
or
Now,
and did you ever know her before this? Like,
No.
did you know her 5 years ago, 3 years ago?
no.
Well, is she a public nuisance? Are these animals coming over and tearing up your trash and keeping you up all night long, or what kind of stuff are they doing?
The animals, they're not doing anything. They're just... Actually, they can't wait till Pam gets home. They're all just so
Right.
happy. And they seem to all be happy. They're just doing what the animals do.
So you basically are doing the same thing here that you were doing down there.
Actually, I'm more annoying for Deb, because my closest neighbor there was like a mile away. And it wasn't the closest neighbors that complained. It's ones way over on a hilltop that said I was a public nuisance with these animals.
Yeah.
Debbie, I don't think I live more than, 50 feet
Yeah.
away from... I'm right on top of Debbie. So if actually there has been a public nuisance, truly, I have been towards Deb. So she's watched this woman come in with the animals that survived the last Holocaust move in, the shirt's on my back, and she's been over there, not as a neighbor. She's over there like, what can I do to help? What can I do to watch over these animals while you're gone? What can I do to help water? Barb has been of the same mentality. She's been over there. Can I help you shovel your car out? Can I help with your place to get fixed up? I mean, it has been such a contrast compared to what I fled versus what...
So is this somebody you could maybe trust your dog or cat to, or
definitely.
horse maybe?
Definitely.
Or, okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
And she knows animals.